Hi everybody, MayorBK here, and welcome to an addendum to episode 4, or you could call this a mini-sode, but there were a couple things after recording the latest episode that I wanted to go back in and share with you. First, you can see there Harbour Park filled in nicely. We can look at that a little later. And then I wanted to go back in and use the content creator pack that recently came out by Avanya for industrial evolutions. You can see there I cleared out the industrial area, so it gives us a blank slate. I have the game on pause right now, so it's not messing too much with the city statistics other than the demand. You can see down there, the demand for industry is top of the chart, but we'll get the game playing here in just a few minutes, and that'll level out as the industry fills in. Before I get to the content creator pack, let me just add a road here and just square off that block by the power plant. So I'm really excited to use this content creator pack that Avanya created. It adds a little more dynamics to the industrial zones in City Skylines. For the most part, even in a modded build or a vanilla build, once you kind of build the industry, other than if you're relocating it, gentrifying the industrial area and cleaning it out, most of the time the industry areas just kind of go in the background or off to the sides of cities. The buildings that we'll see here early on are brick buildings, factories. They have the look and feel of Franklin in kind of the period of time that we've been mostly spending our time in the 1800s, the Industrial Revolution era buildings, dirty industry factories. And then as the buildings level up, it adds more modern buildings, more warehouse style buildings, more of those modern, clean industrial areas. So I'm really interested to see how this progresses, and it'll be a nice thing we can come back to. And we can also use this in other parts of Bay County. So I want to get an industrial zone laid out here, and I just want to separate it a little bit from the city of Franklin. It'll give us an opportunity to name the industrial area, but really this is the first time I'm using this content creator pack, so I just want to have it separated out, and I want to have just one theme in this whole district. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm pretty picky about the district zones, so now that I have that district here. So let me just show you here. It comes in a little bit weird. I just gotta check and see which one it is, because district styles hasn't been updated, I don't think, since the latest content creator packs. It doesn't show the names of some of the newer ones, but here it is. It's Modder Pack 20, and I can double check it by seeing the included buildings, and you can see there's quite a few of them. Some are smaller, some are larger, so it fills in really nicely with a mix of larger buildings as well as small ones, and just creates a really nice look to it. I think this is pretty much ready to go. Let me go add this to the district theme, and it's Modder Pack 20 build-in style, and then we'll go and name the district. Because our power plant and our utilities are also in here, I think an appropriate name is the Power and Light District. So that's pretty good there. We'll get the game going while we work on a couple other things here in this little addendum minisode episode. So back down to the Harbour Park area, you can see I filled in this area after we left off with episode 4, and it's still zoning in a little bit. There's a few empty lots, but it's zoned in pretty nicely, and it's really jumped our population up to right around 12,000. If you remember from episode 4, we also worked on Durrett Boulevard extension and then built the food line over there. So this is going to be a pretty busy area here along Durrett Boulevard. I want to work on a couple of the connections of the roads that cross Durrett Boulevard. One of the things I noticed is this road over here. This one here, I think there's an opportunity to take the road that comes up there on bordering Durrett Manor and Harbour Park and connect it with the road that comes down from Central Square. Right now, it's a couple blocks different, but if we re-lay out this little area here, it's gonna make the traffic flow a lot easier and just reduce a little bit of the junctions on Starrett Boulevard. A little bit of a redo here. We'll go in and we'll try to minimize bulldozing to the best path that I think these are going to go off of, and obviously we'll have to bulldoze a few of the houses that are facing now the wrong direction when I get rid of this road. Okay, now that we got everything bulldozed, I want to make a connection here and rearrange some of the blocks. And then we'll bring this road down on the diagonal and continue that at that angle. And then that didn't line up right away, but we'll bring this one up and then just adjust the diagonal. First, we can take out that junction and just make it a right turn only intersection. Blast that back. And we'll reconnect it. It should line up pretty nicely if we continue this angle here. Yeah. So a little bit of a quirky intersection with the angle changing, but you do see those in older cities in the US. I think that aligns with the time frame that we're developing the city of Franklin right now. And obviously this isn't very realistic to go in for essentially a local road and bulldoze a neighborhood. So we're not saying that happened. This is more of a something that would have happened in the initial layout of the city that I just missed earlier. It's more playing the game than a realistic representation for this moment. We'll get all these cross streets connected up and then rezone along this road. Clean up a couple of the houses that I missed earlier. And that looks pretty good there, getting the zones filled in. Maybe a few more up here by the park. I think that is a lot more effective. It'll be, again, nice for the traffic flow and also just keeps the city more cohesive in the development, developing out from that central square through those neighborhoods and then into the Harbor Park neighborhood that we worked on in that latest episode. So I'll get the game playing and the houses will start to zone in while we just finish up a few of the things just detailing around. Now the zones are oriented to the different street, we can just adjust the park and bring the park gate down and just square off this area here. And while we're here, we can delete this building so it maybe adds a different asset in there that's fills that space, and see if we can get the smaller assets to zone next to it. We'll come back and check on that later. If not, I can use Move It to adjust things around. And then while we're here, just grab a couple trees for that empty space along the park and can just add a few more green trees to the park here. And maybe one up here too. That looks nice. So now that road comes down by the park and then turns and then connects up with the road that crosses our diagonal road. So I can see traffic's already starting to use it. That's nice to see cars going. And then you can see some development along here. The other thing I noticed at the end of the episode is I put the fire station in Starrett Manor, and although that might not be a big deal, I just want to keep Starrett Manor and that property totally clean right now. So let's figure out if we can put this fire station somewhere else, either across Starrett Boulevard in this neighborhood, or I do like the idea of it being in Harbor Park. Maybe using one of these empty lots here that Harbor Park is still filling in with. It's okay in that neighborhood, but I think I do want to bring it over to Harbor Park and use this lot here on the corner. And I think those George and Philly row homes still have a 2x3 asset, so that still should fill in on the corner. If not, I can again use Move It and grab an asset that'll fit. And traffic is using it, so that's good. You can see traffic is going to the central square area and a lot of traffic coming out of Harbor Park, but we're gonna keep working down there too. Our power and light district has filled in nicely. And you can see these great assets by Avanya in the Industrial Evolutions Content Creator Pack. And right now they are fine how they look now. It's a dirty turn of the century, late 1800s, early 1900s industrial park. They really mesh well with each other. There are some larger factories, some smaller factories, some outbuildings. It really comes together nicely to look like larger factory sets. And while we're looking at the Power and Light District, a little teaser, we're going to get a lot more detailed into the utilities in Bay County as the county continues to develop. And quickly, I also noticed that there are trees on this border road. It hasn't had a name yet. I will get a name probably to one of our next episode characters as we introduce other influential figures in the Bay County history. And let's just travel down this road real quick as we leave Harbour Park, go into the city of Franklin a little deeper, and then travel down towards Central Square. I'm really happy with how Central Square came out in the latest episode, detailing the area around the church. It really just connected it to the Central Square Park, adding those trees. So that'll do it. Thank you for watching this short episode, and we'll have another episode of Bay County Delmarva out shortly. Until then, thanks and have a great day.